So welcome to my reaction to the new Nintendo Direct. We knew there was going to be a Direct in February. They announced it. And like everybody else, I got overhyped. I did. I got so superly excited. And I thought they're going to show new hardware. They're going to show Metroid Prime 4. Where they didn't show any of that. And you know what? That's okay, because there was a couple of surprises in this Nintendo Direct that really got me, that I was really excited about, and so many things to talk about. I'm not going to mention every single game they showed, just the games that meant something to me personally. I will ask you guys, what did you think about this Nintendo Direct? Did it live up to your expectations? Were your expectations hitting the roof? Or were you like how I should have been, keeping it on the lowdown and keeping really cool about it all and kind of downsizing my expectations? But you know what? There was a couple of really cool things in here. So we started off with something we definitely expected to see, Pikmin 4. And I gotta say, every single time I see Pikmin, I get excited, and it's so charming, and it really is kind of nostalgic for me, going back to the original Pikmin that came out on the GameCube. I love that game. I enjoyed the second game and the third game. So to see this one, I like the new mechanics in it. I like the dog in there. It looks kind of charming. They showed Volume 3 of the new expansion for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Absolutely. I mean, there's a couple of games in here that I'm like, I can't tell Kim about. I can't tell Kim about. If she sees the expansion stuff for this, she'll go absolutely crazy. We'll never see her again. And let's be honest here, I want to see Kim. So, I don't know. I'll mention that to her later on, but there is an expansion for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming out. Okay, this is the low point of the entire thing for me. It was called Fashion Dreamer. And this is where my brain started to melt a little bit. And I'm like, I am way too hyped to be watching this Nintendo Direct. Way too hyped. And I just start to sink into my seat here, and I'm like, oh no. I don't think I can handle this. This is gonna be bad. And then finally that was over. But I did zone out. I was kind of like a little bit, kind of staring around after that, going, oh geez, that's interesting. You're an influencer and it's about fashion, and I'm like, that's great, but it's really not for me. I don't know who it's for, but I hope they enjoy it. They showed, I think, was it called the Deca Police? That kind of looked interesting, kind of an RPG detective thing with some action RPG combat. It looked interesting, but it didn't fully have me. I thought it was kind of neat. I'll have to see a little bit more about that, but kind of on the radar. Now, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again, and I saw the new trailer that they showed here. Bayonetta Origins, unfortunately, really doesn't do it for me. It's like there's Bayonetta and then there's this game, and I can't even wrap my head around this game. I'm like, this seems so childish and small and everything that Bayonetta is not. I'm like, so you know what? If anybody's out there who's interested in the game or excited about the game, that's awesome, but definitely not for me. Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass. I have a lot of friends that play Splatoon. They love the game to death, so they'll be very excited about that. And there's some expansion news for Fire Emblem. They're going to add some new characters in there, which are sometimes old characters from some of the old Fire Emblem games. They're adding those in there, and some new levels as well to go and battle in. And I'm telling you, I just got off Fire Emblem Engage, and I love the game. I think it's just absolutely awesome. So more stuff to Fire Emblem is only a great thing. Now, here is where stuff starts to get a little bit crazy. So obviously, we're all hyped. I'm hyped about Octopath Traveler 2. Very hyped about it. I love the first game. And then they're like, yes, Octopath Traveler is coming out. And I'm like, I know. We're all looking forward to it. And this is the bit that got me. Demo available. And of course you can play the demo and take your save data into the final game. That's what I'm doing tonight. That's already figured out. That's what's happening. And then they showed a game that I personally been looking forward to. I've been sharing the gospel on it for a little RPG called Sea of Stars. And if any of you have seen this game is the game to keep your eyes on. It looks unbelievable. The attention to detail in there, the attention to bringing the past into the present, and a care on the pixel graphics that are you can just see. And so I'm looking forward to that game. And guess what? there's a demo for that available today. And I'm like, okay, I don't have enough time, guys. You're overwhelming me. And I think that's what it is with Nintendo Directs. They're showing so many games. They're like, this game's out, this game's out. I'm like, there's just too many games to be to wrap your head around, to think, oh, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play that. So I'm going to do it methodically. Definitely Octopath Traveler demo, Sea of Stars demo. And then Etrian Odyssey is getting a remaster, the first 3 games, and these were on 3DS. And I'll be honest with you, these were always games that I wanted to pick up. I had the first game, and I'm like, I really like these style of games. I really like just wandering around, fighting monsters. They're kind of a fun thing to do. Where a remaster on the Switch, and hopefully a physical copy of that, I'm in 100%. I think in the back of my head, this is something that I would have like fantasized, oh, wouldn't it be cool if they ever released it that way, and then you kind of forget about it, and that they're never going to do something like that. It's kind of cool that they're going to do it. So if you're into those style of dungeon exploring games, this game looks, these 3 games, these remaster games, look pretty cool. You can also play them on the 3DS. Finally, Advance Wars has come back. Yes, we know it was supposed to be out a year ago. We knew because of a certain thing that happened in the world. It got delayed because they didn't want to, correlate Advance Wars to that. But it's back, it's coming out, and the really crazy thing, April 21st, you can play this game. I am so hyped. I'm a big Advance Wars fan. I have all of the games. I played them exactly when they came out originally. And so this is a really big win-win to get Advance Wars Reboots. Finally is coming out. Okay, so for the online service with Nintendo, they showed that you can play old Game Boy games. And I was like, that's cool. That's a novel thing. But then they showed the Game Boy Advance games. And that's where things got a little bit more serious for me when they showed Minish Cap. One of my favorite Zelda games on Game Boy Advance. I love the game. I got it up on the shelf here. That was one of those games that I played back in the day that I'm like, this game is really good. It really is a great Zelda handheld game that is its own thing and really had some unique bits in it, like the Minish Cap, which was so cool and so awesome at the time. So that kind of got me going. And then they showed that they're bringing on the Fire Emblem games as well. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool and all that. But at this point, I'm like, there really nothing crazy has happened. Nothing completely nuts yet. And let me say, I brought the lucky Metroid today. I gotta say, I thought 100% we were gonna get a Metroid Prime 4 teaser trailer at the end, saying, by the way, later in the year, this is something, afterwards. We did not get that. But we got something that there was rumors of a couple of years ago, and the rumors went away and it became like vaporware, and so, oh no, just rumors and all that. I raised my hands in the air because they showed Metroid Prime Remastered, and I got shivers, and I got nostalgic, and I went back to the GameCube, and I went back in time to, nearly 20 years ago, playing that game, and that was the big game that we were all waiting for at the time, Metroid Prime. And to see it here, and to see the remaster, and to hear the music, it really did something for me, a lot more than what I thought it was going to. Now, should they have remastered all 3? I'm quite happy, because the first Metroid Prime is my favorite. The other 2 are good, but so much nostalgia for that first game, when you first land on the planet and the music swirls around you, and you're like, oh my god, this is first person, and it is awesome. And so I think this is a build-up. They're releasing this to kind of warm your appetite for when they release Metroid Prime 4 later in the year. And we're not going to get that now, but we're going to get that mentioned in the second half of the year when they talk about that. So that was the big surprise of this Direct. And boy, was I taken back. And I was a lot more moved by it than I thought I was going to be. Now, I'm doing an episode on this game. It's coming up in the next month or so. And it's kind of funny. Baten Kaitos. I've always got to try to pronounce that properly. Baten Kaitos. They're doing 1 and 2, a high definition remaster of that. Okay, so these are some games that were released on the GameCube, and I bought the first game, and I'm going to talk about it in an upcoming episode. I've already captured a bunch of footage. It's going to be a little bit of fun, and something on your radar? I don't know, wait for my video to come out really, really soon on that, because it's not exactly what you expect. Okay, I was laughing. I was so laughing when I saw this game, and I was so afraid. I was so afraid. Never mind the expansion pass, for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That was like, oh no, Kim, can't show her that. I'm being funny. But then they showed Fantasy Life, and I'm like, oh my god, Kim was absolutely addicted to that game on handheld. So much. She played like 200 hours of it. Even did all the DLC. She was like crazy for it. And I introduced her to it. I was like, oh, try this game. And never saw Kim again. So when I saw this game, and I'm going to read the title. I have to read the title down here. The Girl Who Steals Time. I started laughing. I'm like, oh my god, it's going to be the girl who loses time by playing this game for another 200 hours. So we got to keep that quiet. We can't tell Kim about this at all. And we ended with Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom, another trailer. And they didn't need to get me hyped. They didn't need to show another trailer. We're already there, aren't we? We're already invested. We're already ready to go day one. We all are. But in watching this trailer, I was like, yeah, like Breath of the Wild for me is one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, the physics of it, the expanse of it, everything you can do within it. It was incredible. What a groundbreaking game that nobody expected at the time. And I think we're going to get a lot more of the same, and I think a lot more in there as well. And I'm kind of cool in the fact that I don't know everything about this game, because I don't want to. I want to go in and just start exploring and all that. But the one thing I didn't expect from the trailer, the one thing I was shaking my head at going, no, a collector's edition, of course. And I saw that and I'm like, oh my god, another collector's edition to get. How could I not? I got the collector's edition for the Breath of the Wild back then, and that was so amazing to get that. I still look up at that and go, what an amazing edition that was. And of course there's going to be another one. And oh my god, is that going to be really hard to get? I think that's what it's all about. It's more of the headache. Is it going to be insane to get? And just please, Nintendo, make it easy for everybody to get it who wants it. That would be really, really cool. So, okay, those are all my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct, all the things that were really standing out to me. What stood out to you guys? What did you enjoy? What did you see that I didn't mention? Let us all know down below. There was some kind of Disney games and stuff like that going on. A lot of neat stuff, but you can't cover everything. Just sometimes all the stuff you love, and that's what I definitely did today. But Metroid Prime, oh my god, remastered. That's what I take away today, and it's available today. That's what's so ridiculous. You can go and download it, pay for it today, but a physical copy is coming out in I think a couple weeks' time. I'll wait for the physical copy. Oh, or god, I don't know. I kind of want to really, play it. As I say, there's not enough time to do all these things, so I've got to go and jump into all this stuff. So anyways, guys, until next time.